So, Kelsey, you've been going to school for about 2 years now. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. It's definitely getting easier.
Okay. So, would you say that it was easier when you started college, or would you rate that right when you started probably easy, medium, hard?
Um, well, the classwork was probably medium, but the transition as a whole, like moving away from home and just being on my own and going to a place where I didn't really know anybody, that was definitely hard.
Okay. So, that being the hardest part, would you say that being away from family was the hardest part?
Um, yes, being away from family, being away from my church, and I still stayed in contact with my friends, so the friends like I didn't really miss my friends, but it was definitely hard to make friends, so I missed that as well.
Okay, so I just want to ask you those because I want to find out maybe what the biggest issue was as you entered into college and started to just go down this new track of your life. Um, so, if you had to choose the biggest issue that you've come up against so far, what would you say that is?
Mm, Probably learning how to make relationships on your own without relying on people you already know or people that you're related to or close to. And especially without having, like, not being in a fraternity or a sorority, I would say it's harder to get to know people and to meet people. So that's probably the most difficult thing, or it was.
Okay, so do you think you could give like a compare and contrast example from high school to college?
Well, high school, I went to a really small high school, and I had a huge group of friends, and we always hung out, and it wasn't really an issue. Like, having friends wasn't really an issue, and knowing people wasn't an issue. And if if it was my birthday or a holiday or just a weekend, like I knew I had people I could go hang out with or people that would talk to me. But in college, it wasn't really like that. I mean, you make like a lot of acquaintances, but you don't really make friends as much. You don't, not until you start getting into your major classes and then you start seeing the same people, and that's when you really are able to develop more friendships.
So, what would you say about your current status on friendship and whatnot? Has it grown since you've been at college? Is it about the same since you showed up? Is it um,
It's definitely grown. My relationships with people have grown. I've just met more people through church, through my boyfriend, through just taking the same classes as people in my major, seeing those people and having the same interests, and that has allowed me to make more relationships. And so it's definitely better now. It was just really hard freshman year, especially first semester, but as time went on, it's just it becomes a natural thing. I definitely don't have like probably 10 people I could go hang out with right now, but I do have like three really really good friends. So I don't know if having the really close friends is more important, or having a huge group of people. I probably would have used to say like having a huge group of friends is way better, but I think I've learned that through college that the relationships I have, though they're few, they're very important and they're very meaningful and they're gonna last forever.
okay? Cool. It sounds like everything's kind of starting to shape up, and you're kind of starting to figure out things. So, what would you say? Is more important? You kind of brought it up. Would you say if you had to choose right now, more friends or fewer friends, and then just based on your definition, why would that be more important to you?
Oh, definitely just having fewer friends if the relationships are more meaningful than fewer friends, for sure. I'd much rather have a more meaningful relationship with a few than to have a bunch of people I just know, but I don't really have connections with on a deeper level, or we don't really have that much in common, but we just know each other. Yeah, I would much rather have just a few friends that I'm close to.
Okay, and so would you say that this is something that kind of held you back in your college, like, I don't know, a good word, like experience or like pushing forward? Like, was it hard to not have people to rely on and, just not have someone, boom, you can call right then and there and talk to them, as opposed to now where you do have friends and it is making it, it sounds like easier. Um, did you go through any of that at all, or was it just you're just a strong minded individual?
I definitely went through a lot of struggle with not having people around. I felt lonely, but I grew from that, and I think it's something that people just naturally go through when they go to college, and I think you come out with the better friends that you would have never had otherwise, and I think that it's totally worth it.
Okay, all right. Well, thanks for answering all my questions. It sounds like you're doing great. And
Yeah,
yeah, I really appreciate you taking the time to be here and just talk with me. And
no problem.
that's it.